Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Suyash, and in this video we are going to cover the mechanism of how Google ADK is able to run our agent application. Let's get started. In this video, we are going to look at the internals of the ADK and ADK runtime. Okay, so ADK runtime is the underlying engine that powers our agent application. It takes our custom code and execution logic, which is our agents, tools, callbacks, and orchestrates their execution. It manages the flow of information, the state changes, as well as interacting with the external services. Okay, so essentially it is an engine of our application where we define the parts, the custom code, the execution logic, and the runtime handles how they connect, how they interact, and how they run together to fulfill the user's request. Let's look how this ADK runtime actually functions internally. Okay, so ADK runtime operates on an event loop, and as the name suggests, it is a loop of multiple events. And this facilitates the back and forth communication between the runner, which is this component, and our own execution logic, which consists of agent, LLM calls, callbacks, tools, and etc. Okay, so let's look at the step-by-step flow at an overview level. Then we'll try to understand these components in general, and then we'll deep dive further into the nitty-gritties of each of the step that happens within this flow. So the first step is when the user sends a message to our agentic application. So the entry point is a runner. The runner receives a user query and then it asks the main agent, our root agent, to start processing. Okay, so this is the step one where the user asks the query. In step two, the runner asks our root agent to start processing. So the agent and its associated logic runs until it has something to report. It could be a response, it could be a request to use a tool, or it could even be change in the state. And this is wrapped in an event. It then yields an event to the runner and then it stops its execution. So the moment it yields an event, its execution gets paused. The runner then receives this event. It processes any associated actions, right? The actions could be change in the state, and it does that by coordinating with the services. And then it forwards this event to the upstream system. Now, this necessarily does not mean that it forwards it to the user interface or the end user, but it forwards it to the application code which has access to these intermediate events. Now, only after the runner has completed processing the event, the agent's logic resumes from where it was paused. And now, when it resumes, it is now able to see the most recent updated changes that were made by the runner also to the state, right? So it has access to the most recent information. Now, this cycle repeats until the agent has no more events to yield and it gives a final response. So this is the loop that goes on and on until the agent sends a final response. So this event driven loop is the fundamental pattern which governs how the ADK executes our agent code. Now let's understand what these components are and what they do. Okay. The first thing we will look at is the event. Now the event is the most granular atomic unit of information that flows in this loop. So the message that is passed back and forth between the runner and our execution logic is the event. It may consist of the user text, the agent text, the tool calls, state changes, and so on. Okay. It carries both the actual content as well as the action, the intended action such as state update. So we now looked at one event. Let's look at something called as invocation. Invocation is at the level of a single turn of conversation. When I say single turn, the user sends a query and gets a response. That is a single turn of the conversation, which is essentially the event loop that we just saw. Okay, so each invocation can have multiple events. So first we looked at event, then we go one step higher where multiple events collapse into an invocation. So an invocation has multiple events. So it is the conceptual term that represents everything that happens in a single user query from the moment the runner receives it until the agent logic finishes. Okay. Now, Each invocation is identified by an invocation ID, and it has invocation context object. So this is a context object. Think of it as a temporary scratch pad. Now let's roll the invocation further up and go to a session. Now a session is actually a complete conversation, and a complete conversation is a multi-turn conversation. That's why each session has multiple invocations. So think of session as a record of the entire interaction between a user and an agent. So it's just one specific conversation. It stores the state as well as list of all the past events that happened. So we looked at events, we looked at invocation, we looked at a session, which is at a conversation level. Now let's look at services. Services are backend components which are responsible for managing persistent or shared resources, and they're used primarily by the runner. So we saw that in the event loop, the runner keeps coordinating with the services and perform actions like state updates. Now there could be a session service which is at a session level and it manages the session objects. Then we have artifact service which manages the binary artifact data. Then we have the memory service which manages the long-term memory across different sessions for a user. Then we go to the execution logic components. This is essentially the custom code that we build. As we have seen in the past tutorials, we've defined agents, we have defined tools, we've also defined callbacks. So in the previous video, we focused on what callbacks are and how to make our agent production ready using callbacks. So do check it out. And finally, we have the runner, which is the manager here. It is the entry point and the orchestrator for everything that happens. So it manages the overall event loop. Now let's dive deep one step further and try to understand what exactly happens in this event loop. Okay, so let's assume that we have a typical user query that involves an LLM calling a tool, right? So there is a function call. Now let's look in depth. So this is the flow of information from left to right and top to bottom. We have the user, we have the runner, we have the service, the session service. Then we have the LLM agent because it uses LLM for orchestration. Then we have the LLM itself, and then we have the tool because there is a tool call as part of this example. So the first step is the user sends a query such as what's the capital of France to our application, and runner is the entry point. Okay, so the runner receives this message and then it interacts with the session service to load the relevant session. Once the session gets loaded, it adds this user query as the first event to the session history, and then it creates an invocation context object. Next, the runner calls the root agent and asks it to start execution. The agent then takes the system instructions, the user query, the tool definitions and all that, and requests a call or sends an API call to the LLM. So the LLM then sends a response with a function call. So the LLM agent, our agent, receives the function call response from the LLM, and then it wraps it in an event, and then it yields it to the runner. Once it yields that function call event to the runner, it pauses its own execution. The runner then receives this function call event and it passes it to the session service to record it in the history, okay, like a checkpoint. And then once the event gets recorded, it then yields this function call event to the upstream system. Now this does not necessarily mean that it yields it to the end user or the UI. It yields it to the application code so that the application code has access to the event. The runner signals our agent to resume the execution. The LLM agent now proceeds to execute the requested tool. So as part of the function response or function call response, the LLM says that call this function with these parameters, right? So now the agent goes ahead and executes that tool. The tool runs and it returns a result. For example, here it returns a result Paris. The agent then wraps the tool result into an event, and this event might also contain some actions such as state changes. So like in the previous video of callbacks, as part of the callback function, we updated the state, right? So if there is any state changes, then this also gets added as part of the event, and then this event is yielded back to the runner. Okay, and again, after the event gets emitted from the agent pauses its execution. As usual, the runner receives the function response event from the agent, and then the runner yields this function response event to the upstream, which is the application code. Next, the runner sends a signal to the agent to resume execution. The agent then sends the tool result back to the LLM to generate a natural language response. Okay, to which the LLM responds saying the final answer is the capital of France is Paris. As usual, the agent receives this final text from the LLM and then it wraps it in an event and yields it back to the runner. And as usual, the runner records that final text event in the session service, which acts like a checkpoint, and then yields it back to the upstream system. As usual, the runner sends a signal to the agent to resume execution, but having completed its tasks for this invocation, the agent generator finishes, and the final response is sent to the end user this time. So this pattern, right, this yield, pause, then process, then again resume, this cycle ensures that the state changes are consistently applied after every event, right? It's like a checkpoint, and the execution logic, our code, always operates on the most recent data, on the most recently committed state. So that's it for this video. I hope that you are a bit more clearer on the internals and how ADK runs the agent. Now in this video, we touched the surface from the components perspective, right? We looked at the individual components at a surface level, but now in the upcoming videos, we will deep dive and understand the nitty-gritties of each of these components. If you found this video helpful, do subscribe, do comment, do let me know if you want to see something specific, and stay tuned for future videos. Thank you.